Hello students, welcome to our channel Creative Minds. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the concept of particle in one-dimensional box. This concept is the solution to the time-independent Schrödinger wave equation for the particle in one-dimensional box. By this we mean that the particle is subjected to a potential energy function that is infinite along the x-axis everywhere except for a line segment of length L, where the potential energy is 0. So the wave function exists in this region too. But in the region 1 and 3, as you can see that the potential energy is infinite of the particle. So here the wave function does not exist. In the regions 1 and 3, the potential energy of the particle is infinity. So by putting potential energy equals to infinity in the time independent Schrödinger wave equation, we neglect E in comparison with infinity. So by rearranging this equation becomes psi equals to 1 over infinity d square psi over dx square. As you know that 1 over infinity is equal to 0. So psi is 0 outside the box. So we can say that in the region 1 and 3, the wave function does not exist. For the region 2, x between 0 and a, the potential energy of the particle is 0 in the region 2, and so by putting the potential energy equals to 0 in the Schrödinger wave equation and by rearranging, we get a second differential general equation equals to d square psi over dx square equals to minus 2 me over h bar square into psi x, where m is the mass of the particle and E is the energy of the particle. So this psi wave function can be a sine function or a wave function. Let us take psi x equals to sine kx first. So we will take its first differential and also the second differential. So by taking the first differential, it becomes k cos of kx, and by taking its second differential, it will become minus k square sine of kx. As you know that psi of x is equals to sine of kx, so we can here write this second differential equation double dash of psi equals to minus k square psi of x. Comparing this equation with the general equation, we can know the value of k square equals to minus 2 me over h bar square. So though by putting this value of k square or k in this general equation where psi x is equal to sine of kx, we get the value equals to psi of x equals to sine 2me square root of 2me over h bar square into x. Psi x, let us do it for the psi x equals to cos of kx. We will take its first differential and also the second differential, and by putting the value of k equals to 2me over square root of 2me over h bar square, we get a general equation psi x equals to sine of 2me over h bar square root of 2me over h bar square into x. As we have already discussed that sin kx is the solution of the wave function and also the cos kx is the solution of the wave function. So by combining these two equations into one linear equation where psi x is equals to a sine of kx plus b cos of kx, and a and b are the two arbitrary constant here. So we can say that the linear combination of the two wave functions, the two equations should also be the solution to a wave function. So we will take its first differential of this linear combination equation. Taking its first differential, d by dx equals to a sine of kx plus d by dx into b cos of kx, we get a k cos of kx minus b k sine of kx. Again taking its second differential, we get the value equals to minus a k square sine of kx minus b k square cos of kx. So by taking the value k square common, we get double differential psi x is equal to minus k square psi x. As we have already proved that psi can be sine kx and it can be cos kx and it can be the linear combination of these two equations. So we get a general equation, Schrödinger wave equation for the particle in one dimensional box, which is psi equals to a sine of kx plus b cos of kx. So here A and B are the two arbitrary constants. For knowing the value of A and B, we will apply some conditions for the wave functions. So psi should have a single value and psi should be continuous and should be quadratically integrable. To find out the constants A and B, we apply some boundary conditions. It seems reasonable to postulate that the wave functions will be continuous, that is, it will make no sudden jumps in values and it should be zero at the boundaries of the box. So these two are the boundary conditions where psi is equal to 0 at x equals to 0. This is the first boundary condition, and psi is equal to 0 at x is equals to a. This is the second boundary condition. Now we will apply the boundary conditions on the wave function. The first boundary condition is psi is equal to 0 at x is equals to 0, taking the general wave function equation where psi x is equals to a sine kx plus b cos of kx. Now we will put x is equal to 0 in this equation. We get b equals to 0 as sine of 0 is equal to 0 and cos of 0 is equal to 1. So we will again put b equals to 0 in this equation. We get psi x is equals to a sine of kx. And again, by putting the value of x in it, which is equal to 0, we get psi x equal to 0, which is the first condition of which is the first condition, boundary condition, and is fulfilled now. Now we will apply the second boundary condition where psi is equal to 0 and x is equals to a. So again this equation becomes psi x is equals to a sine of ka. A cannot be 0 because it would make the wave function 0 everywhere, and so we would have an empty box. As we have already discussed that this equation is psi x is equals to a sine ka. A cannot be 0 because this would mean that the whole wave function is 0 everywhere in the box. Therefore, we will take sine k equal to 0. By considering sine ka equals to sine theta, where sine theta is equal to 0 only when theta is equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, or have up to n pi. So sine ka is equal to 0 when k is equal to n pi. So again, by taking this general equation psi x equals to a sine ka, by putting the value of k equals to n pi over a in it, this becomes psi x is equal to a sine n pi over a into x. This equation fulfills the two boundary conditions. By the first boundary condition can be fulfilled as by taking the value of x equal to 0 in it, by multiplying 0 with the whole term, this equation becomes 0, so psi x ultimately becomes 0. Thus the first boundary condition is fulfilled. Again, by taking x equals to a in this equation, for the second boundary condition for psi equals to 0 when x is equal to a and a cancel out. Again this equation becomes 0, so psi x is equal to 0 is proved by the second boundary condition. The energy of a particle in boundary box is also quantized. To find out the energy equation for the particle in boundary box, let us take these two equations. Ka is equals to n pi, this is the first equation, and k is equals to square root of 2 me over h bar square, second equation. Take the square of the first equation, it becomes k square a square equals to n square pi square. Put the value of k square in this equation, it becomes 2me over h bar square into a square equals to n square pi square. By rearranging the above equation and by putting the value of h bar equals to h by 2 pi, this equation becomes E is equal to n square h square pi square over 8ma square. The value of n equals to 0 is the special case which correspond to E equals to 0. The application of boundary condition has forced us to find the condition that the values of the energy is quantized. As you can see that here the n comes naturally. The states of the lowest energy is called the ground state, and the states of higher values of n, where n is equals to 2, 3 up to infinity, is called the high energy states or excited states. We will discuss some other topics of quantum mechanics in our coming lectures.